One of these days, whenever you see my face, it's not just going to be for a monthly reset. Hello, welcome to Roussel Reads. I'm Deja, and today we are going to do a monthly reset. I feel like the past 3 months, every time I come back on here, it has just been a monthly reset. And I feel like I always say, oh, I'm feeling good, like I feel prepared for the next month, and then it's like cricket. So I'm not going to say that this time. I do feel good going into the next month, but I feel like that's just jinxing myself. So we're just going to go with the flow and see how everything works out. Like I said in my last monthly reset, I went on vacation, and so I did not actually expect to do a lot of reading. But maybe it is because of that vacation where I literally just did nothing book related the entire time. Maybe because of that, I came back and was just magically cured of everything that was putting me in a slump. Because I don't know what it is, but I just feel way more reinvigorated in terms of wanting to read books again, wanting to do my writing more, and just like a lot of things. Like I feel like I'm not as burned out, which is probably why they say people should go on vacation. But as I was like preparing all of like the stats and stuff that I had over the past month, I was actually very surprised just how much I actually did. And I feel like that vacation is probably what did it. Granted, I still don't think I'm fully out of my reading slump because we'll talk about this like as I get more into the stats, but like a lot of the books that I was reading and that I completed, like they were just books that I have been reading over the last few months. And so I finally completed them. But let's go ahead and get into the stats and I'll just say more details as they come up. So in the month of May, I actually ended up finishing 7 books, which was definitely a surprise for me. But like I said, I actually completed 2 books that I have been reading for months on end. And I'm pretty sure that 4 of them were mangas. And so that's already 6 books right there. And the last one was just a short story. I am currently in the middle of 2 other books, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going to finish those before the end of the month. I also ended up DNFing 1 book. And I think that also reinvigorated just how I'm feeling about my reading. I'm giving myself way more permission to just DNF. I don't know why I felt like I couldn't DNF arcs, but I did DNF an arc. Out of the 7 books that I read, 2 of them were owned and 5 of them were from my library. Also, out of those 7 books, 3 of them were digital ebooks and the other 4 were physical copies. My average rating for the month was a 3.68, which is definitely higher than like my usual. In terms of the books that I hauled and unhauled, I know I said in my last video that I just was going to unhaul those books in May, but I never found the time to actually go and unhaul them. So I still have all of those books. So I did not unhaul anything. Hopefully in June, I will be able to make my way to the donation place that I want to go to. In terms of books that I hauled, I did haul 1 ebook. I got it for free and it's just a novella that I didn't spend any money on. A new thing that I decided to bring to my monthly resets is just my TBR stats. And so with all of those previous stats being said, this brings my current physical TBR to 170 books that I need to read. And for my digital TBR, that brings it to 491. I know it's not the best, but it's also not the worst, but I'm definitely hoping that I can get some of these books down. Like I really need to, especially that digital TBR. I need to get that down. Now let's move on to ARCs. So NetGalley has been the worst and the best thing for me. I signed up to have a NetGalley last year and I went crazy and like was requesting everything. So I have a lot of books that I need to review. And so my current NetGalley ratio is actually 29%. It went down from the previous month because I ended up receiving 6 more copies of books. I feel like once I make some progress in some of these arcs, I always get approved for more. And maybe that's just on me for like requesting them. I need to probably stop requesting some of these books, but like some of these I'm just like super excited about. And you will see that I have a few arcs on my TBR for next month. So I'm just getting approved for them faster than I can read them. But I've been doing good. I haven't been requesting as much, so I have faith that I can reach my 80% goal before the end of the year. In terms of feedback that I did send back feedback for one of the books that I finished in May. And so now let's move into the challenges. So I am doing 3 different challenges and I made progress in at least one of them, maybe even 2 of them, but I'm not really counting the second one. So the first one that I made progress in was the Black Horror Challenge. It was a challenge to read a short story, and I did complete that. So I am now 8% done with that challenge. The other one that I was kind of thinking that it could count, but probably doesn't yet, is for the Reddit Fantasy Bingo for the 2025. They want us to read 5 short stories or an anthology of short stories. So since I read 1 story for the Black Horror Challenge, that does count, but I need to read at least 4 more for me to say that that prompt is complete. So I'm not going to cheat and say that I'm pretty much just done with like 1 prompt. And then the last one is the Students Readathon, which I'm still failing at. I'm thinking in the later half of the year, I will be caught up a little bit more on this. There are quite a few Native American authors that I do want to try. And so I'm hoping that I can at least complete at least 50% of the prompts for that readathon. And now I will talk about just a few of my reading plans for the next month. You will see my TBR on the screen. I'm not going to go through every single book that I'm planning to read, but just a few highlights. I decided that I was going to read No Gods, No Monsters by Cadwell Turnbull because in June it is Caribbean Heritage Month. And I wasn't really interested in the group read for that one, but I did still want to participate. And so if you are interested in participating in that challenge, I will leave the links down below to the announcement videos and to the people hosting it. I am also going to be listening to the audiobook of Outdrawn by Deanna Gray. This is for the DNF Book Club that's hosted by the Melanin Library. So I didn't participate in the last one because I wasn't really interested in that book, but I am interested in this book. It is a sapphic love story that I have been hearing really good things about, despite people not really liking the author's debut. So I am planning to listen to that one. I also have 4 arcs on this TBR. Some of them have already come out, but I'm still hoping that I will get to them. And like I said, I am currently in the middle of 2 books already, and there is one other book that I probably should put on this TBR because I'm also doing another group read of Wild Seed by Octavia Butler. So I probably should put that on this TBR somewhere. But that's my overall general plans for the upcoming month in terms of what I'm going to read. I'm still allowing myself to do some mood reading, especially because I am just now getting out of a reading slump. There are a few books that I do want to reread, and I don't know. We will see how that fits into everything with my plans. The last thing that I did want to do is go over some June releases. Even though I do an anticipated releases at the beginning of the year and I'm planning to do one in June, I don't cover every single book that I'm anticipating. One, because I like to focus on Black authors for those standalone videos, and 2, because I'm always hearing of new books to be anticipating as we're going on throughout the year. So the first one that I have is A Song of Legends Lost. This is an epic fantasy that I don't know much about, but that I've been hearing great things about. It was released in the UK earlier this year, but the US is finally getting a copy. And I'm not going to say I'm going to read it anytime soon, only because this is also another pick for the DNF Book Club, but I'm very excited for it, especially because I feel like everything has romance these days. And sometimes you just want epic fantasy that doesn't have like the sole focus of being romance. So very excited for that one. The next one is also a popular favorite, and that is King of Ashes by S.A. Cosby. I really just like how S.A. Cosby does like the voice of his characters, very rural, southern, black guys. Like, I just really love it. So I will definitely be listening to that one on audiobook whenever I can get my hands on it. Another book that I'm anticipating that comes out on June 10th is Blind Devotion by Brianna Cole. I feel like this author has another thriller-ish book out, so I probably should try that before I try this one. But when I was reading the description of this one, it really caught my attention because it just sounds so messy. It has a woman that is basically the mistress to a pastor, and it seems like there's going to be probably like some manipulation and emotional abuse happening, and I'm just here for the mess. So it seems like it's going to be a thriller, but messy. So I'm all for that. The next one that I have comes out on June 12th, and this is Echoes of Hollow and Ember. This one looks like it's going to be another epic fantasy, probably new adult from what I can see, but I'm not exactly sure. And this one just promises like an epic fantasy with like gods and just that sister relationship. And honestly, just gods and like a sister relationship and war, like those are my buzzwords when it comes to fantasy. So very excited for this one. And then we have The Ghost of Gwendolyn Montgomery. This is one that I don't know much about, but recently I've been feeling very much in like a paranormal mood, and not really like the cozy paranormal books that we've been getting with like, oh, this is like fun rom-com but with like witches and stuff. Like, I haven't been like craving that, but I've been craving more of like the darker, sinister parts of the paranormal that's not horror. So I feel like maybe this is what that book's going to give me potentially, hopefully. I don't know. We will see. And then on the opposite end, we have When Sleeping Women Wake. And this is a story following Japanese women during World War II. One of the books that I really enjoyed was The Nightingale, so I'm excited to see another perspective from the same time period. And then last but not least, I have another mystery thriller, and that is Whispers of the Lake by Shanora Williams. This is an arc that I'm actually currently reading, and I'm already really enjoying it. I think Shanora Williams, like her mystery thrillers, are just like the perfect palate cleansers in between like some of the either heavier things that I'm reading or just like the more dense things. Like, everything just reads like super like quick because she has kind of like a compulsively readable writing style. And so I don't usually like to like compare like authors, but to me she's like the black version of what people say Freedom McFadden gives to them. So do with that what you will. But those are the books that I am anticipating for the month of June. I'm pretty sure I probably forgot any, so I would love to know if there are any books that you are anticipating for the month of June. But that will be my entire monthly reset. I feel good going into the month, like I said, but I'm not going to jinx it and say that I'm going to be back before another monthly reset. But I thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.